In case you were busy, here's what you missed in part 1.
Oh no! Oh wow, that's getting close.
I'm just pointing it at the sky.
Woo! Got it.
The day started out just as it normally would, with a nice greasy breakfast cooked over an old camp stove. After that, it was time to pack up all our gear, load the rigs, and get ready for the journey to our next destination. This was one of the more tedious parts of this trip, as we all had a lot of gear and tools to load and unload every time we were to switch camps. A while later, we hit the road and took in some sights along the way. Once back in Moab, we decided to stop at the local market for some fuel and provisions.
Let's go see what we can find.
Let's go see what we can find. I gotta get a shot of this beautiful bitch. Man, how can you turn that down?
Yeah.
Once everybody was properly resupplied, we hit the road and headed to the other side of the valley to the Moab Slick Rock area. This is the best. This is the best place here by far. I've been excited about this for a very, very long time.
Sorry about the wait.
Oh, I'm gonna pay for the two behind me as well. You take care of yourself. Finally, we were through the gate and heading down the road to find the campsite where we would spend the next couple days. Luckily for us, we were all able to find campsites that were right next to each other. So we got to work quickly, unloading all of our gear, all of our camp supplies, setting up our tents, popping up our canopies, and unloading our bikes, 'cause damn it, we just wanted to ride. Well, after Cane Creek was pretty much a bust due to some heavy rains, thunderstorms that we had to run away from, by the way, and some pretty intense flooding. We finally made it to Slick Rock and got all set up. Now we're just hanging out. Hopefully later we're gonna go for a ride. It's gonna be great. But before we could do all that, I just couldn't resist the opportunity to make Dooley as uncomfortable as possible. Hey Dooley.
Yeah.
Need to make sure you stand up straight there, bud.
Oh, I am. Nice and straight. Thanks.
Finally, it was time to get geared up and ready to ride. But after a while, we couldn't help but notice a change in the wind and a change in the weather. How do you feel about that?
I was really hoping that it was going to go past us, but I think it's changing direction and it's heading towards us.
I have a feeling you're right.
Buckle up.
Oh, we're going anyway.
Oh, I know.
Well, sure shit. Just got out to Slick Rock an hour ago. It was sunny and beautiful. We're just getting suited up to go ride and got that looming behind us. Saw a couple lightning strikes already. I think we're gonna give it a go and see what happens. Wish us luck.
Oh yeah. It's a big fucking hole. Oh wow. What do you think so far?
Holy shit.
Along the way, we were greeted by a very gracious park ranger who was nice enough to give us a heads up about the impending weather.
Just heading out.
Yeah.
Watch that rain.
Is it coming in?
Looks like
I
it.
can't.
Thanks for the heads up, buddy.
Have fun.
Thank you. You too.
Once the park ranger left us to our own devices, we all discussed whether to go back to camp or push on. And in the end, we decided to keep riding.
What are you saying?
Just rain. Just rain.
Ah,
Hey, the wind's blowing this way. That shit's coming. It's starting to sprinkle right now.
is it?
Hey,
All right.
hey.
I know.
Hug now, or do you want it when we get back?
When we get back, if you don't mind.
All right.
Is it gonna be a big hug?
It is.
Like a bear hug?
Oh, I'm gonna do so good.
God damn it, Dooley.
On our way back to camp, everything was going fine until Mother Nature decided to put a stop to that with a surprise windstorm.
Yeah, we gotta get the out of here. Yeah.
For the time being, we were stuck where we were, but after a minute or two, I noticed Georgia was near the top of the ridge, unable to move because of the intense wind, so I decided to go try and help her.
Might be terrified.
Okay. You just stay there. Go, go.
Once we were all moving, it was a race to get back to camp before the weather caught up with us once again.
Oh shit. Yeah, we gotta go. This is not good. Gonna repeat yesterday. This feels a little worse. Not sure why. Oh man, I am counter steering against the wind. Holy knuckles.
After a fast-paced ride on the return trip, we returned to find the storm had gotten to our camp before we could.
Oh, buddy. Why?
It's fucked up.
Then you have this. This is your centerpiece.
Thank you, kiddo.
Yeah, you have some legs, but
You're not so bad. Well, once again, it was a total rain out. We got a pretty gnarly storm going on out here, and holy shit. And we're just gonna hang out under here for a while.
As it turns out, we actually got back to camp just in the nick of time. As we sat around and watched the show, the winds got stronger, the rains got heavier, and we witnessed lightning strike after lightning strike.
Thanks for being my, voice of reason out there. Because I'll be honest, I was half tempted to keep going.
I know you were.
Yeah. And then I didn't. Because, well, for one, you promised me a hug. And then for two, this.
Well, I was a meteorologist long ago.
Where ya?
No.
Near you. Saw this coming.
Shortly thereafter, I realized that I'd left all my electronics on my bike, so I ran over to disconnect them, but I made the mistake of leaving my camera behind.
Got ourselves a thunderstorm. Don't know if you know this, but it's going to be something like 0 to 100 in 2 seconds flat.
run so fast.
Okay. Oh. Fucking great.
And in true Moab fashion, things just got better from there.
I do believe that it's getting much worse.
This was the last straw for us. We decided we had had enough and headed into town for a nice dinner.
Oh yeah, so sophisticated.
Oh, what now?
Had a wonderful night of indulgence. How's your beer? You got a little bit up in your your mustache there. There it is.
My life would not be complete without this.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me. What'd I just say?
At last, we were all warm, full, and happy. So we headed back to camp, and after the storm had passed, we sat around the fire for our favorite time of day. Dear Diary, it wasn't the best day we ever had, but it was a day we had together. Thank you for these wonderful people and for the journey so far. Let's see what tomorrow brings, and we'll see you then.